My fault. I had to turn my microphone on.
Well, there
Welcome
you
into
go.
the Rob and Kale Show. Thanks for joining us this evening. As I was saying before we got started there, the Gamecock baseball team almost made their way through Hoover, but most Gamecock fans were not happy about that. I welcome in my favorite Gamecock fan. He's Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. What's up, buddy?
Rob, how you doing tonight?
Good. I'd literally, like 10 minutes ago, walked off the golf course. I played 9 holes with my daughter. She asked me at 7 o'clock, can we play golf? I was like, shit. She's not going to be asking me forever to play golf. So I went and played golf. So she also beat the shit out of me. So anyway, so I'm doing
Must be
great.
a fairly short course.
But 9 holes, not bad. Not bad. It weaves throughout our neighborhood. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, it was cool to play some golf with her. I played golf with the wife today. She also beat the hell out of me. The women in this house wear my ass out in golf. It's not even close
I
most
don't know
days.
if I'd be admitting all that or not, but
What? I mean, it's factual. It's factual, just the way that it is. So
I mean, I
anyway,
I I I sharded myself the other day too. That's factual, but I don't
wait
go
a minute.
around telling people
Re-
about it.
Respectfully, sir, you've admitted on this show that you bought a penis pump, that you had a Jack Shack when you were a kid that was like a shed. And I admit that my daughter and my wife can wear me out in golf. And you think that I've gone too far? Come on, Jackpot.
Guess you
Come
got
on.
a point.
I do have a point. Anyway, welcome into the show this evening. Thank you guys for stopping in. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you folks. Stuff to get into today, Jackpot. We got to start with the Gamecocks, who for some reason like almost weaved their way into the SEC championship game before falling to LSU. What was it, yesterday? Day before?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to lose, but obviously, I'm glad they didn't make it to the championship game. It deserved to be there. It would have been fool's gold, and they would have lost. But just the more and more they advance, it's just the more and more that this bastard has on his resume, I guess, to keep him. I don't see after yesterday. I see no way that he gets retained for next year. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. You know, there's some idiots down there who run things. So
I I Here's the thing that if I'm a Gamecock fan that I would be upset about. All right. I mean, put on my Gamecock hat here for a second. I wish I had one, but I don't. But if I did, what I
I
would
wish you
say
did
as a
too.
Gamecock fan is that Clemson is projected to be a top 6 seed, which means that they could play the regional and super regional up at Doug Kingsmore. They're doing this with what, a second year head coach that they imported from Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what Clemson is doing up there in the upstate, which, to be honest, the Gamecock baseball program has always been better than Clemson has been. I mean, you've got 2 national titles sitting in your center field area out there. As you walk in, you see 2 national titles. Clemson doesn't have that. But if I'm a South Carolina fan and I'm walking past those national titles and I'm looking around, I'm like, wait a minute. We're projected to go to NC State by Baseball America. We're projected to go to UNC by D1 Baseball in the latest regional projections. Why is that? And why is Clemson sitting at home hanging out for their regional with a coach from Yankee Land?
Yeah.
Because that's basically what's happened. Just saying.
Yeah.
All those things are factual.
Yeah.
So
Well, they weren't. You got to give them credit up there in Tatertown. They weren't afraid to shell out the big bucks to go get a proven winner. This guy was he went to the College World Series with Michigan, I think, right?
he did.
So
Took them there, and nobody thought they had a chance because hell, up at Michigan, they can't play baseball until the middle of March. I mean, because the ground's frozen. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and he
Michigan's big.
managed to take.
Michigan's big into football, obviously, and I mean, I think they're big into basketball. They haven't had a lot of success lately, but I think they care about it a lot. They care, but baseball, I didn't even know they had a team until
Yeah,
this guy got hired from there. To be honest with you,
yeah. Spurs up with a good comment here. It says the Gamecocks have 5 losing seasons all time. Kingston owns 2 of them.
well, that's
I'd have to check the stats on that, but holy shit, if
they've
that's
only
true,
got five
nuts.
all time. That's kind of hard to believe, but
I mean,
maybe
we could look it
so.
up. I mean, hell, who knows? That's a good stat though, if it's true. Anyway, yeah. So you look at that though, and you're watching them go through out in Hoover, and you're like, why couldn't they play ball like this all year? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And now it's like, is it too little, too late? You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at the entire body of work, and you got to also think some of these. I mean, I don't think Arkansas gave two shits about being in the SEC tournament. I
Right.
really don't. So, and Alabama was a team. I mean, they had the same record as we did. I mean, pretty
Mhm.
much we were pretty evenly matched. So, I mean, Gamecocks just happened to get that one. But
Yeah. Well,
no, I mean, two times you blew. I mean, leads of over 4 runs against the same fucking team. The fuck. I mean, just
well.
unacceptable.
Hey, I can share something with you, Jackpot, that might make you happy this evening.
Okay.
I'm serious. This will make you happy. I spoke to our good friend Big Barney Ross last night, and he said he did his research, and he says South Carolina has not lost to Kentucky in anything in like 2 years. He said he went and checked track, golf, all of it. South Carolina has owned Kentucky in everything for 2 years, Jackpot.
Damn. I mean,
Yeah.
things are getting back to normal. Getting back to
Yeah.
what it should be. Well, I don't say that. We haven't be. I mean, we haven't always owned them in basketball like we do right now. But yeah,
Over this 2 year stretch, there are 2 year olds that have never seen Kentucky beat South Carolina in basketball on the men's side.
really. Well, we
So,
picked up a commitment yesterday. I think it was from a 4-star. I believe he was from Kentucky.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
which we lost. That one little shithead got out of his commitment to South Carolina. The Trent Noah, he got out of
yeah.
his commitment so he could go up there and play for Mark Dope. I hope we smack him around. That's probably going to be a shitty hire.
We'll
He's
see.
probably be worth a fuck probably. So, yeah, they're going to remain irrelevant. Fuck them bastards.
Well, we don't argue with hardware here, so we got to give credit to Tennessee for winning the SEC baseball tournament. Congratulations to the Vols.
I was
Give credit
actually
to
you'd be happy to know I was actually pulling for them to win today. I
Duke.
really was because I don't like
Well,
LSU, and I was glad to see them, get sent home crying. And I liked the way it unfolded too because it looked like it was, it was going to end up 4-1. Tennessee was going to make quick work out of them in the ninth, and they gave them some rope. Gave them some rope. I let them do some climbing. Let them do some climbing. Oh, gotta get back in it. They're gonna. No, you almost had it. Fuck you.
Jackpot, you're just motherfucking everybody tonight, brother.
No, I don't like
You
them.
really are. Anyway, so congratulations to Tennessee. Congratulations to Duke for winning the ACC tournament. And I don't know who else should we congratulate. I don't know. By the way, you and I texted about this earlier today. The pool play thing for the ACC needs to go away, and I'll tell you why. Clemson played Miami in their first game. Miami had beat, I think it was Louisville in their first game like 2 days before. So Miami played like Tuesday and Thursday. All right. Now I'm not taking anything away from the Hurricanes, but Clemson's eliminated from the tournament after one game, but yet they had to stay and play Louisville in a game that who gives a shit? Seriously. I mean, this pool play thing can go straight
I'm
to
so
hell. It is the
confused by it
dumbest
that
thing ever.
I had no idea, and I was pissed off when they came back and won it Friday. Was it Friday?
Friday, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Friday, because they were down like 7-4, and they came back and then won it. And I was like, of course these assholes are going to come back and win. Of course, they always do. But like, I wouldn't have even gotten upset about it if I had known that it doesn't really matter. It's
Yeah.
like a
The game that
meaningless game.
the game
It's a
doesn't matter.
meaningless game. It's like back in the day. You know, back in the day in the NCAA basketball tournament, don't you? You know, um,
We
the
used to have
final four.
a third place game.
The final four. Yes, the final four. The two teams that lost in the semifinals played before the national championship game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
stupid. Yeah,
So
a meaningless
someone asked
game.
me to explain the pool play. So here's the way that it works. 12 teams make the tournament. They're divided into 4 pools with 3 teams in each pool. The 3 teams will all play each other. Okay? The winners of the pools will square off on later on in the tournament. So you have 4 pool winners. Those 2 will play each other on Saturday in a single elimination game. That whoever wins that game will play. Whoever wins those 2 games play for the championship on Sunday. So now someone hit me with something on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. The ACC is doing what they do in the College World Series. To which I say, okay. I mean, I don't think that's what they completely do. I mean, you have a double elimination side of the bracket, but you do have 2 pools. You have bracket A and bracket B, I guess. I don't know. What a mess. It's just confusing and
They're
stupid.
just
I don't
getting them
understand.
prepared for the College World Series, Rob.
Why Clemson doesn't get there. And if we do, we get our face kicked in. So until we start winning games in June, we're just not very not impressed at all.
Yeah, they're asking if they put Gamecocks in the Clemson region. That'll be announced tomorrow at 12, right?
Right. Yeah, it'll be announced tomorrow at 12. I think they announce the regional host sites yet? They normally do that on Sunday night, I believe. Let me check on that. Hold on. Um, regional host sites. I think sometimes they put those out there. I don't think the Gamecocks drew that. Did they do enough to draw a host? Oh yeah, here you go. The 16 regional sites are selected. So we'll give you this. We don't know what order they're going to be in, but here are the regional sites. The Georgia Bulldogs will play their regional at home. North Carolina, Virginia, Clemson will get a regional. Texas A&M, Oregon State, Arkansas, East Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Oklahoma, NC State, UC Santa Barbara. The Gauchos will be at
All
home,
right. Yeah, I would like to go to that one.
along with yeah, along with Oklahoma State, Florida State, and Arizona. So they just announced these, I guess, about 30 minutes ago. And so you got what? One, two, three, four, five SEC teams. One, two, three,
5 ACC teams.
four, four, 5 ACC teams. I've got issues with this because Duke did not get a regional, and they're the best team in the damn ACC. I mean, I don't know what their record is, but I think it's because of their facilities up there.
Did
They're
they
so
win
shit.
it?
They won the ACC tournament, yeah. So hold on, let's look at Duke's baseball record here. They beat Florida State, but Florida State gets a regional. So yeah, they're 39 and 18. Well, maybe that's not quite enough. They
Well, you
did
remember they have to have um there's certain criteria that you have to meet um in terms of the facilities to be able to host the regional. You remember, don't you remember a few years ago the Gamecocks were seeded too, and they hosted the Old Dominion Regional. Do you remember that?
yeah, but it was Old Dominions. Technically, they were regional. Yeah, I'm with
Yeah,
you.
but their stadium and stuff is a shithole. So
Maybe that's the way that it is. I don't know. It's just weird to see Duke wins the ACC tournament and they are not hosting a regional. pretty silly, in my opinion. But I don't know. So 5 SEC teams, 5 ACC teams, and it looks like you got what one? I guess it's from the Pac-12, still the Pac-12. Oregon State, Oklahoma's a Big 12 team this year. That's one for them. I don't know what conference UC Santa Barbara plays in. I feel ignorant. Help me with that, Jackpot. Is that like
Uh,
the West Coast?
West Coast Conference, probably.
Sure. Possible West Coast Conference. That's what we'll go with. And then
Possible
Oklahoma
California
State.
Conference.
Yeah, possible conference that has California teams in it. That's what we'll go with. Watch the Gauchos make the World Series and wipe their ass with everybody's team. We're over here mocking them. Matthew says it's the Big West.
The Big West.
Barry wants to know how they get a regional with that record. I don't know. NC State's been pretty good, so there's that. All right, so we kind of forgot the elephant in the room, Jackpot, that essentially amateurism is dead. I mean, you made a video about that, didn't you? With the NCAA has basically said, hey, we're going to start the Power Five conferences are going to pay players, essentially. What it boils down to.
I talked about who's going to coach Clemson next season, because Dabo's supposed to be quitting.
So worn out. Holy shit.
Well, like I said in my video, he's not quitting. I mean, he'll find a way to spin it. Or maybe he could just come out, when he's asked about it, and say, look, I made a statement a few years back, and I never thought that we'd see this day, but no, I'm not going anywhere. I love coaching these young men up too much, and if that makes me a hypocrite, I guess I'm a hypocrite. That's what he should say, but he won't.
Well, you won't get him in front of a microphone until ACC kickoff. He's down in wherever the hell he is, where he owns that island house with Nick Saban. They're down there, I don't know, doing whatever the hell.
Wait,
Two Alabama
they
guys
own
do.
an island house together?
They own a house on an island. Like he owns one house, Nick Saban owns the house that's like down the street from him, and then they get on the golf cart and ride around and go to lunch and breakfast and shit together down there.
Oh God.
That's what they do in the off season. So so there you go with that. But anyway, you won't get him in front of a microphone until ACC kickoff. And you know what? I don't know if I'm going to kickoff or not this year, but I definitely would ask him that question. There's a lot of the Clemson folks that won't, but you have to put that out in front of him. And he probably needs somebody to do that anyway. You're almost doing him a favor asking him the question, because it needs to come out and he needs to address it.
I'm sure
But
Tyler from Spartanburg wouldn't mind answering it, or wouldn't mind
I'm
asking
sure.
it.
Also, I hate to be this way, but for people that want college football to stay the way that it was, congratulations. You think like Dabo Swinney. If you don't like the transfer portal and NIL and all that stuff, yeah, you're a Dabo Swinney fan, because you think the same way that he does. Because he wanted the young men that he had to grow up in football the same way that he did at Alabama. So you can sit there and mock it and do all that stuff, but in reality, you don't like the idea that your players are going everywhere. It's the same way Dabo Swinney feels.
You're breaking up really bad. I don't know if you're.
See if that fixed it. Should have
I
fixed it
don't know
there.
if you're talking into a belt or what.
No. Anyway, I was saying that's you feel the way Dabo Swinney does.
Fix your audio wire.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. I'm going to put the link out here if people want to talk about that. If you want to get involved with the program, have at it. Put the link over here so you guys can see it. Jackpot's got Wheezy there.
Yeah.
I'd get my dog, but he's too damn big. Big Barney Ross says when Shane Beamer gets fired, they'll hire Dabo Swinney. Dabo Swinney's not going to South Carolina. Stop it. Stop it.
Motivated, dedicated. A while ago, says here, which I pinned. He says, "What up, folks or fellas? Word on the street is Coach Prime owes a security guard $11 million. Did you hear about this?"
I did, and it was something to do with his kid, right? Like his
Yeah,
kid.
yeah. Shiloh beat up security guard in high school back in 2015. 20 fucking 15. And this guy is still playing college football. And he was in high school then. Now, I mean, he may have been a freshman. But anyway, he beat up a security guard because he went to take his phone from him. But Dion was on the phone with the security guard and said, "You're my brother in Christ." According to this article I read, "You're my brother in Christ. I need you to let me know when you have secured the phone. Call me back when you secured the phone." So I guess he didn't, and then I guess Shiloh like threw a couple of elbows at the guy and at his chest, and then this guy who's suing him alleges that broke his neck. So I don't know how he suffered a broken neck from a shot to the chest or an elbow, but I don't know. But anyway, he's suing him for several $1 million. And the story was, and Shiloh has declared bankruptcy because he says his net worth is he's only worth $341,000.
Hmm.
So he's filed for bankruptcy at 24. Hell of a story.
That is a hell of a story, and I'm in the camp of, if this kid fought a cop or security guard or whatever, and he beat up the security guard. First of all, where are the charges, like the criminal charges? How did those go away? That's thing number one. Um, and thing number two is that if you have suit filed against you civilly, then you got to pay up. I mean, if you have proof that this guy got beat up by, this, I guess, high school kid Sanders, what a shithole. I mean, just that, I don't get it, man.
I
It's a
don't.
mess.
I don't know. I really don't.
It's a mess. So there's all of that. If you want to join the program and talk about that, if you want to join the program and talk about the way the NCAA is doing their stuff, where they now you can pay players, basically, is what it boils down to. If you want to talk about that, the link is right over there in the comment section. If you want to talk about the baseball tournament, we can get into that. So yeah, whatever it is you want to talk about this evening here on the Rob and Kale show. Appreciate all y'all turning out for this Memorial Day weekend. What else you got, Jackpot, that you want to go over, man? You got anything over there that's been in your crawl, sir?
No, I don't. Yeah, I've not got anything pertinent happening. Um, yeah, we've kind of went over some stuff. Football magazines came out last week. I don't know if I discussed that one, but the Lindy's magazine was out, and now the Athlon magazine is supposed to be out the 28th. So we'll have some reading to do there, some required reading. If you, I'm just kidding, but it's interesting when these magazines come out. Uh,
It is the talking. I mean, that's like the start of the talking season, right, Jackpot? Once the
yeah,
magazines come out,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
we can kind of figure out which way we're gonna go.
yeah. Well, you can kind of tell where everybody's who these folks are picking and why, and you can kind of read and look at some of the rosters, which you know it's kind of hard to do all that stuff, when you're just having to just scour the internet for all of it. If you want to search and look for a particular group of teams or particular conference or something. So,
TJ Bird has a good question. He wants to know, which magazine do you prefer, Jackpot? I'm looking at getting one this year for the first time in a long time. Hmm.
well, I think the Phil Steele magazine that comes out after the 4th of July goes more in depth, way more in depth than anything else. So, I mean, that's definitely the magazine I would buy. That costs about twice as much as that's about $20, but it's a well spent $20.
Here's another question from Sharif. He wants to know, would you mind Ray Tanner being the baseball coach again if he gets fired as AD?
I mean, I don't guess so.
Hmm.
I mean, he never really failed at it before he went to athletic director. So, but I mean, is he? I mean, he's how far removed from the game is he now? You know what I'm saying? It's
Well,
not
you've
like
also got to look
Mac
at it.
Brown who hung it up and did announcing for a few years, and then went back into coaching. I mean, he'd only been out of it for like 5 years, and this guy's been out of it for like over 10, right?
Well, here's the thing. Mr. Joker says Tanner won't do that. Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that. I mean, why take that step back? And he's kind of got them over the barrel too, because regardless of what you think of him, because he won two national titles, he's going to be in the Gamecock Hall of Fame. Whatever it is that you guys have, he's going to be one of the. I mean, his number's already retired up in the damn stadium anyway. But I mean, he's one of the champions of Gamecock athletics, even though he hasn't been the best athletic director as far as hiring and firing of football coaches, etc. So when the time for him to go, there's going to have to be a lot of glad handing and everything else because they don't want to piss on one of their legends as he
No,
leaves the program. They don't want to do that.
yeah,
So there's that. I agree with Mr. Joker on that. But also, and I'm not trying to hold up for Tanner here because I believe that what I've said before, that football runs everything, and until he fixes the football program, there's going to be issues. But if you look at like Sears Cup points and stuff like that, and in other areas, women's hoops won a national title this year. I mean, you've got stuff like that does shine. It makes it hard in the athletic community to get rid of this guy, even though
yeah,
football does draw everything. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. You always got the but this, you know.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, there's all of that. If you'd like to join the show and talk about that this evening, I'll put that link over here for that. Sharif says, "Why wouldn't USC let Tanner hire another football coach? You get two chances in AD. Third chance, miss me with it. Miss me with that." Okay. Uh, Ryan says, and this is fair, made a good hire with Paris and also retained Don Staley. That's fair. I mean, Paris has been a good coach. I mean, he's only the 2-year stint, but that Gamecock basketball team was pretty good this year. They
Yeah,
weren't
and
embarrassing.
I commented on that today. I mean, that's kind of a that's one of the old blind squirrel finding a nut theory. I mean, yeah, they can't all be bad, but um, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it looks like he's going to do some pretty good things there, but jury's still out. I mean, he folded up like a cheap tent when tournament time came around too. So let's not
Yeah.
forget that.
Well, we'll see how that works out. All right, I'll put the link over here again if you want to get involved with that. We're gonna have here in the future. We're gonna do some over and unders too. Up and once those come out, we've already had some of those, but
Spurs
we'll do
upsets.
some of those.
What changes do you want to see from Beamer in year 4? Um, Take accountability for yourself and your coaches, and start winning some press conferences again. And don't act like a baby.
Yeah, how about go to a bowl game? Is that too much to ask? Go to a bowl game?
Go to a bowl game. Yeah, well, that goes without saying. Have success on the field, Rob. I think it's maybe talking about in terms of just from himself and his staffers, maybe.
His press conferences last year were, I mean,
They were brutal.
they they were brutal, and maybe some people were thinking that he was trying to keep all that attention upon himself, so that maybe his program, the kids there, didn't have to shield some of that. I mean, I don't know, but it seemed like every week it was something. hot
Well, it's the
dogs
one week
and hamburgers and
he blamed. I don't know. He was blaming a lot of shit on his players. Um, after one of those games earlier in the season, and then he proceeded to like after he kind of got called out on it. Then every press conference subsequent to that, um, when he had, you had to make a statement about the Pittsburgh play. Well, it all starts with me. I'm the coach. Well, it all starts with me. I don't know. Well, I was that. It's like he had to try to overdo it. You don't have to overdo it. Just be genuine in your response.
hmm Spurs Up says to find some joy comment after the Jack State game was ridiculous.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was.
I mean, well, look, here's the thing though. If he were winning games, like let's say he did all that shit last year, but the Gamecocks went 9-3, nobody would be saying anything. Nobody would give a shit. But he's not. He's not winning. And until he does, he can't act the way he does. Billy
Yeah,
Bucket,
well, I mean, if they'd been winning games, he wouldn't have had to make those silly statements.
maybe so. What's up, Billy?
Hey, what I missed so far? I try to go back and review, but I just skimmed through. Have y'all talked about that steel play yesterday? The umpire called and that controversial play.
No.
Yeah, that was very
About that.
confusing.
Yeah,
Uh, the thing I took away from it is where there's a play that might decide a game, it's not reviewable. But we're going to review all the other little ticky tack stuff through the game. But when it comes down, that needed to be reviewed. That could have, that could have been costly.
Big Barney Ross challenges you on the 6-6 thing for South Carolina. He goes, "I'll bet you a nursing home Jello or pudding snack pack, Billy Cole, that they
You're
don't
on
go 6-6."
butterscotch, buddy.
Oh, butterscotch! He needs to send you some Ensure.
See, I've got optimism. I've got optimism about this South Carolina team. I got him at 6-6. I'm sticking with it.
Careful.
Put it on.
Big
Put
Barney
it
Ross
on.
will
Put,
spike that
put,
pudding with something
put,
else from Kentucky. By God.
put it on the shelf of
They're starting out
accountability.
2-0. We know that. So
Well,
a third of the way there after two games.
To be fair, Kentucky can't say anything to South Carolina. They've not beaten them in anything in 2 years.
who's
Anything.
Kentucky?
Exactly.
I mean, when you can get in a stadium with 2 BOGO tickets from Kroger, I mean, have they broke the 50,000 barrier yet at that stadium?
I think they pay Stoops in like Kroger bonus points. And when he goes to get to the gas station, he doesn't get his discount next month because some of them expired. He may just leave that fucking program.
What's the capacity of Kroger Field there? 50?
I don't know.
50?
Well, it was like 60.
I thought it was 48,000 plus 12,000 shopping carts, but I could be wrong.
Gee, that's a good one. That's a good one, Rob. But did South Carolina get in a regional? You said 5 teams. It was only 5 SEC teams make a regional.
Only 5 SEC teams, 5 ACC teams. South Carolina will be in a regional, I'm sure, but they will not be hosting. They will not be hosting.
Oh, you got 5 SEC teams hosting a regional.
Yes, sir. They only announced the host tonight.
Oh,
so
okay.
Your Vols will be hosting a regional.
Yeah.
In addition to Kentucky's hosting a regional. Arkansas's got one too. Kentucky, hold on. So from the Georgia's got a regional as well. So does Texas A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and hey, the crazy thing is that if
LSU.
next season, think about this too. Next season, you've got you would have Oklahoma in the mix too, man.
Texas.
The SEC baseball next year is going to be a hell of a lot tougher with Oklahoma and Texas both joining the conference. That's going to be insane. I mean, Oklahoma's got a regional this year. Texas does not, but they're perennially a power program. But
They don't. They're not hosting a regional.
No, Texas is not.
Usually
Texas
really,
A&M is.
they're usually really, really good.
But
Happened to
Texas,
that.
Now,
I don't know.
now this tournament, like basketball. Basketball is significant because you could play your way into the field of 64. If you're on the bubble, you could do good, or you could go the other. I don't see the significance of this SEC baseball tournament. There's nothing you can do after you go to this tournament and you're 35-5, or what's this tournament going to do for her?
Well, on that front, I mean, let's first of all, it may help you in your seating. I mean, think about this. You could end up with I mean, I think that Tennessee is probably going to be the number 1 overall seed. I don't think that's that far of a stretch to put that out there. Maybe it helps with that, but I just think that if you go deep into a tournament, then you're going to use all of your pitching up.
Yeah.
And then are you going to be rested heading into the tournament that really matters next week? Just wondering. I mean, it's something to think about.
I heard him say Tennessee went into this tournament, the RPI rating, which, whatever, was 5. And after this tournament, it's now they've got the top ranked RPI rating, 1,
Right.
which a lot of ID. So,
Yep.
Everybody here in Tennessee knows you hold your breath when it comes to baseball time and regionals, because it'll be some Kalamazoo Junior College knock them out. They've had success.
I mean,
they've had
what was
success.
it? A couple years ago, they were one of the top teams in the country, and they went and lost to Notre Dame.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
It
you
be
could
done.
go and have that happen to you. I mean,
Baseball's
Gamecock
funny.
fans, when I say Louisiana Lafayette, they don't want to hear that shit. Louisiana Lafayette went and took them in a super regional one year. I mean, it happens across the country.
Look at last month. Lipscomb Junior College out of Nashville beat in a 1-game middle of the week game beat Tennessee. Lipscomb.
Well, hey, here's the thing too. The last year the Gamecocks won the national title, they opened up Francis Marion Stadium in a midweek game. They went down there and lost.
Yeah.
So they lost to Francis Marion, but won the national title. Baseball is a strange game, sir.
Francis Marion's not even Division 1.
Baseball, just like the year before I got up to Tennessee Wesleyan here from Cleveland and Athens, Tennessee Wesleyan went up to Knoxville and took a doubleheader, and they were supposed to come back down the next year. Tennessee Wesleyan didn't have 500 students. It's a private Methodist college, Christian. They would not come back down the next year. They would not come back the next year and return.
Well, I think there's also in these midweek games, you can run into. I wish the comrade was here, because the comrade is dumb as a bag of bolts when it comes to football, but he really does know his baseball stuff. But he made a comment on one of our programs about a lot of times in these midweek games, you get a left-hander that, is out there throwing 75 miles an hour as his fastball. And he's just throwing junk at you all night. And if you're playing SEC teams and you're used to hitting guys that are throwing 90 miles an hour, it can throw you off a little bit. And then, you get your midweek guy out there who's maybe a freshman or whatever, he gets roughed up, and you lose a midweek game you had no business losing. That happens.
It's it's like Kingston the other night. I'm not trolling or anything. He brought a relief pitcher in and late in the game that threw, I think, 28 pitches. They were all eephus pitches, 70, 71 mile an hour changeups. He threw 1 fastball. He put that kid out there as a closer, throwing changeups constantly. Like, what are you doing?
Well, tournament ball is different, to be fair. I mean, he may have had issues where I can't run my normal closer out there. I can't run my normal closer out there because he's over the pitch count for X amount of days. Or it could be what Todd says, Kingston sucks. I think I'd rather go with that.
Well,
Kingfish.
Any little league coach knows late in the game when you're ahead and it's close or tied, you cover the lines. He didn't, and it cost him. That guy had a double. The third baseman wasn't, covered. But anyway, everybody has different strategies. It's standard. Tennessee ran A.J. Russell out there today. This kid hadn't pitched, I think, in 2 or 3 months. He's been injured. He ran him out there. They started to see how it works because it really didn't mean nothing.
We don't have a true closer. That is correct.
That's
Can
true.
you remember the last time that South Carolina didn't have a guy at the back of the bullpen that could come in and get you some outs? I mean, it's been a long time, and that's a recruiting shortfall that's happening right now with the Gamecocks. It needs to be addressed.
Thank you, Bird. 2 fly over there. Yeah, he threw. Everything was at 70, 71 miles an hour, just lobbing it up there.
Yep.
And I'm thinking he's got to be saving his pitching. But if you don't have deep pitching, you're,
screwed.
I don't know. I'm and the other thing, Tanner knows better. He's watching this. What's he seeing that we're not seeing? Tanner sees this. That's what gets me. Do they have players coming in or still there?
I'm with you. I'm trying to think of something that I would think that Tanner would be saying here, but I truly have nothing. And Jackpot's given up on this idiot. So I don't expect anything from him.
Well,
I'm just being honest. Jackpot's given up on this guy.
He needs a case of optimism. That's what he needs. He's just always down on.
No, sir.
I'm kidding.
That is.
I need to be careful here.
Look, respectfully, and I'm going to defend Jackpot here a little bit. If you want to give him shit about Beamer a little bit, because it's only been 4 years or 3, whatever the hell, however long he's been there. Kingston's been there a long damn time, and they're a shithole.
Let me ask you this:
shithole program right now.
When Kingston was winning, when he won, were those his players or former coaches' players?
Well, what was his second year? He went to a super regional, right, Jack?
Those weren't his players then. Those were the former coaches.
No.
Well, no, but in fairness, some of those guys, he had some Holbrook guys in there, but.
Did you watch the championship game today, Rob?
What, with Tennessee?
Yeah.
No. I played golf with the wife today. And then I played golf with the daughter.
Tennessee's second base. Let's see. Is it the second? No, it's not second base, or is it third base? Billy Amick. Mm-hmm. He was first team.
Yeah, he unloaded
from Clemson. He was first team. He played for Clemson last year. All ACC, and he just
needed to steward us on it.
Welcome to the transfer portal, sir. That's
I hate this. College sports has gone down the toilet.
Well, you know what, sir? I'm going to get you your Dabo Sweeney tank top, because Dabo Sweeney said this at the beginning, and everybody fucking laughed at him. And now it's like, oh well, Dabo's going to quit. But in the end, people want what Dabo Sweeney wants, which is the way that college football used to be.
Tradition.
So I'll get you your Dabo Sweeney tank top. We'll get you one that's bedazzled. We'll even put some Tennessee orange in it for you.
All right. Well, see, Saban, Saban called this 3 years ago. This has turned out just like he said he would. It would.
Yeah,
and
well,
it has.
Sweeney said essentially the same thing. Yeah. Sweeney said the exact same thing. So, and everybody laughed at him and everything else. Now, look what you got.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow there, ladies and gentlemen. You laugh at the hillbilly from Alabama, and now you look silly.
You know why the NCAA is wanting the schools to pay the players now, don't you?
Yeah.
So they can get back involved in it. See, the NCAA they don't have no control over it now because a federal judge told them to shut up. But see, now they're saying, well, let's let the colleges pay the players so they can get their little grubby hands back on it and control it.
Yeah,
they just want their damn NCAA basketball tournament money, etc.
Somebody said something about saw somebody on Facebook or somewhere made a comment about Billy Napier today. They said, well, now Florida can fire him with cause. Well, no, you can't, because the NCAA doesn't have any. They have no legislature over NIL dealings.
That's right. They have nothing to do with it.
Thanks to Tennessee.
There you go. And Virginia. Virginia was in on it too.
Yeah.
And Virginia.
Thanks to
I
those
want to put
two,
this out there.
can't do nothing about it.
Well, and let me put this out there too. The higher ups at Florida, if they determined they didn't want Billy Napier there anymore, they would figure it the hell out. Same way with like Tennessee, the folks there decided we don't want Pruitt here anymore. They got out of it and didn't give him his buyout.
Just send him to McDonald's and pick up some bags and then gotcha. That's
Exactly.
for
I'm
cause.
just saying,
He
when
got
it comes down
Kiffin.
to it, there's especially in the SEC and the ACC, etc. There's the smoke-filled rooms where you've got old fuckers that sit there with cigars and
Yeah.
I don't like this fucker. Then they can get people in and out.
They
will
even
figure
had Pruitt's wife. Pruitt's wife was involved in it too. She had her hands on it.
There's like I use Darla Moore as an example. Darla Moore has all this money with South Carolina, etc. There's a Darla Moore at every university, but in the form of a sports fan. It's like, you know what? I'm tired of this coach making us look like assholes. I'll pay to get him out. How much is the check? I'll write it for you.
I wonder if
Has
Gamecock Larry has a lot of money.
Jesus, see, Jackpot's mocking me now, but it's
You know
true
who I'm
though.
talking about?
Yeah, did he die?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought he died.
What was
I'm not
he was just calling in. If he did, it was very recent because he was just calling into that show, like in the past couple of weeks.
Before these coaches and athletic directors buy off on the colleges doing this, they better take a real close look who their donors are. And if you don't have donors, you better think twice about this. Just like Oklahoma State. What was that? T-Bone Pickens? He was a billionaire. Tennessee's got the guy that owns
Isn't that the name of their stadium? Boone Pickens?
Yes. Tennessee's big donor is the guy that owns the Pilot and the Flying J's and what's his name?
Of course it is. You guys, your main source of money is from a truck stop. Fuck out of here.
Sure, them and Peyton Manning, and you better think twice. Who? That's just like I'm still trying to figure out who South Carolina's collective is, because the schools can't be involved in this money thing right now. NIL, they got to have a collective.
There's money at South Carolina.
The Garnet Trust.
Yeah, there are people that want South Carolina to go, to be better than
Tennessee's Spire Sporting Goods Sporting Corporate SPYRE is the collective that is the main one. Is the main one that's doing this.
Gamecocks have the Garnet Trust. I can't remember what the name of the Clemson one is, but
let's cut into those endowment funds.
Golden Corral.
Or maybe we should do this. Maybe we should actually fund the students that are going to college to actually get degrees, and not, I don't know, fund these athletes that if they weren't athletic couldn't get into the college anyway. Maybe we could do that.
Thank you.
That would make some sense. Maybe we could get it where the teachers actually don't have to spend their own money for supplies. Am I reaching here? Oh,
my wife taught for 33 years. We spent a lot of money out, supplies and stuff. And Rob Sanders is trying to transform into a literal tater. Oh,
how is it literal to want your students to have what they need for college? How is that a liberal thing, sir? I thought you said liberal. I'm not a literal tater.
She's spending her own money. She's spending her own money for school stuff. Oh, damn it! Stupid dog. She's spending her own money for school supplies for a classroom, and she can't even claim those as a tax deduction because that's a W-2 job. So that's crazy.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Well, if it's any consolation, I think I've seen South Carolina as a 2 seed in this tournament. The region.
Yeah, well, they're gonna be a 2 seed. I think they're either gonna go to East Carolina, North Carolina, or East Carolina, North Carolina, or NC State. They'll go to one of those three. I would be stunned if they ended up in the Clemson regional. I'd be stunned.
Well, they're going to do
Right.
this where they're going to get a draw crowd, make some money. So it wouldn't.
No, but I don't think the NCAA wants to put. There's enough glad handing and everything else behind closed doors. They don't want South Carolina and Clemson in the same regional. They may have it set up where they go to the same super regional, but they're probably sending the Gamecocks to East Carolina. I would be shocked, absolutely shocked, if they put Clemson in the or South Carolina in the Clemson regional this year.
We went to East Carolina before.
Y'all better watch out for Coastal. In fact, what's his name? Gilmore, the head coach there.
Well, you got to watch out. Clemson ducks them every time they got to play them.
And they got an assistant coach. You need to go read Matt Schilling. He's got an unbelievable resume. There is no way that Kingston's got the resume as this assistant coach at Coastal Carolina. His name's Matt Schilling. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And why is Coastal Carolina winning?
Because Gilmore's a hell of a coach and he can scout talent, and he listens to coaches like the coach at USC Sumter, who has been on my radio show and said, look, I've got guys here that could help South Carolina, especially in their bullpen. He told me this like 2 seasons ago. And I can't even get Kingston to call me back.
Oh,
to even look at these guys. And he goes, I got guys that are going to, he's had guys transfer from USC Sumter, and go to, one of them went to Texas. I mean, I would think that if you can go to Texas, you could play at South Carolina, right? That's a fair thing, right? One kid went to North Carolina. North Carolina's hosting a regional this year. So, but yeah, we're not going to go look at left-handers coming out of the bullpen.
Oh, look over here in the comments section. Gamecock Chuck. Now he's a Debbie Downer. We ain't going to no damn super regional.
Brother, he's seen what's happened here. He sees what happened. He's not getting his hopes up.
Yeah.
Why get your hopes up? You get your face kicked in again. So,
well, the only thing that's good about this is like in basketball and these regionals, these small schools get in there, somebody's going down.
Yeah,
somebody's going down, and
so like I think that, I don't know if Charleston's going to make a regional or not, but they're a pretty good team. I think they're like considered one of the last ones in. If Charleston gets in a regional, that's not the number one seed. There is like, damn it, they don't want anything to do with that.
Isn't East Carolina hosting a regional too?
Yes,
East Carolina is also a host.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
What?
Yeah, it's pretty much every Carolina except for
they've hosted the regional several years now.
Yeah, they're
down coach. That's what we need to get.
You guys are doomed, man. Y'all ain't gonna.
All right, I'm gonna get off here. Enjoy the show. Later.
All right, Billy.
Have a good Memorial Day, guys.
All right, sir. All right, thank Billy for joining the program. All right, final call for calls this evening. If you would like to join the show, last chance. If you want to talk a little more about the baseball, we can do that. We can talk about.
That's who South Carolina needs to get. Elite
is the coach for. I think you should go get Coastal's coach. Why not?
Yeah. Get somebody with some somewhat local ties that can recruit the state, that can recruit the area. Where they get Kingston from? Where's he from?
South Florida, Central Florida, something like that.
Yeah. Somewhere. What the fudge?
I don't know where the fuck he's from. Cunts are us. That's where they got him from. Possible cunt. No, certified. All right. Well, regionals come out tomorrow. We'll post that on the Rob and Kale Facebook page. All that stuff. We'll have picks on Wednesday. Hope everyone has a great Memorial Day. Jackpot, do you have anything else you want to add to the show this evening?
No, other than just say allergies are ass. It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm in.
What do you taking for your allergies there, Jackpot? You should. Big Barney Ross has a video on his on the Kentucky Blue Boss channel of some concoction he makes with like different whiskeys or whatever. It looks like it's ass, but he says it like helps with all of his cold and stuff. You should go and check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I
Kentucky
just
Blue
I
Balls,
have
yeah.
I just take I forgot some generic allergy pills I take, and it's just really hit me the last hour or so. I was outside cutting grass today and trimming bushes and doing all that manly shit. And um, yeah, just I guess I got into something. I don't know.
All right.
Ugh.
Well, get yourself some rest, Jackpot. I hope you have a good Memorial Day, and we'll see you guys later on.
All right, gang.